Hay fever.
Hay fever, oh God.
Gosh.
Men used to go to war. By the way, can you say how unbelievable our background is? Have a look. Have a look at our... That's phenomenal, isn't it? Look, just in case you didn't know, this is exactly why you should be watching us over on the YouTube channel, because we've got an unbelievable background. We've got a sky view of London.
We've even got the World Cup
World Cup trophy. How can you have it backwards, mate?
This says FIFA World Cup in front of us, so surely that would be at the front.
Oh, you haven't seen the real one?
No, this is... What are you doing?
Hands off.
This is the real one.
Yeah, exactly. So anyone, come and join us, because we've got a beautiful World Cup trophy. We've got the England flag behind us. It's a very, very exciting time, isn't it? Look, England have made it to an unbelievable, unprecedented almost semi-final. Final four, number 1, 2, 3 and 4 in the FIFA World Rankings are in the semi-final. That's amazing, isn't it? But before we get on to that, you know what else is amazing? Your night out last night. Take it away.
Oh, yeah.
Well, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put my feet up. I'm going to put up our little promo video on social media,
mate.
and you can take it away. Go on, mate.
Make sure you tag me in this time, please.
Yeah, I know, mate. I know.
Yeah, I went to
Where did you go? Go on, mate.
Boogie Town.
Oh, yeah,
yesterday.
I bet you did.
Oh.
I bet you did.
In the words of Gloria Gaynor, can never say goodbye. What a day. Lots of soul, funky music. Great night, great day, great company.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah, who did you go with?
I went with my mate.
Oh, yeah?
Curtis, yeah.
Shout out Curtis, yeah.
Shout out
Anyone
Curtis.
else there?
No, but we
Really?
did. Yeah.
Did you mingle?
Well, we mingled.
Did this single Pringle have a mingle?
Oh, single Pringle mingled. We
Oh,
said
yeah?
hello, said hello, said hello, said hello, thank you, goodbye to a few lovely ladies.
Any blokes?
Well, the football was on there as well, so
Oh,
we
lovely.
watched
So,
the
yeah,
football
yeah,
at 10
nice,
o'clock,
nice,
so
nice.
nice,
Yeah,
quite
yeah.
funny.
Okay, so yeah, you said oh, so go back to the ladies bit. I missed that bit.
yeah.
My ear cut out. What happened with that?
So
Few ladies, did you say?
Yeah, quite funny actually. So
Oh,
there's-
is it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
I bet it
these,
is, yeah.
these
There
two
you go.
ladies came over to me and Kurt.
Oh, okay. So,
Yeah.
so it came over to you or him?
Both of us.
Who's the ladies' man on the night out?
I'll take it.
You know, it's like Cole and York.
It's currently me because he's in a relationship for you.
Oh, okay. Let's get rid of that just in case Curtis' girlfriend's listening or boyfriend.
Girlfriend.
Yeah. Oh. Sorry about that. Did you hear that?
Oh, a bit of reverb.
Yeah,
Definitely
I
girlfriend.
really hurt my ear. Sorry. Come on.
But no, these two, it was quite funny. This woman came up to us and went, "How do you know all the words? You two look far too young to know all the 80s."
Oh, was that her way in? Was that her sliding into the DMs message?
No, that was it. That's what she said.
Oh,
We
really?
had a
Laughed
nice
at you
chat.
and said, "Go away."
Then we had a nice chat about music,
Yeah,
and that was it. And then we spoke to another mum and daughter. That was quite funny.
Mother and daughter.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
in that regard, like, which one would you go for then, the mother or the daughter?
In that regard, I didn't go for either of them. 'Cause they were-
Don't you lie to me.
Oh,
Luke
I did
Henry.
actually. They were both married.
Oh, they were both. Oh, okay, great. Yeah.
So no, not for me.
Yeah.
And then it was really funny because last year, if you want actual story time, I'll
Here we
give you
go.
a bit of story
Here
time.
we go. Have we got any like? We've
quite funny,
got a bit of like a, you know, like supermarket, like you're in the aisles and you know you're listening away. Well, welcome to the show, Adam. He's working away very hard. He can say hello soon.
Afternoon, lads. How
Oh
are you?
yeah,
Good
very well,
afternoon.
very well.
Yeah, morning,
Yeah,
morning.
You just find that track and then we can ad lib by then.
Let's just get this.
I want to hear
promo.
about the single Pringle and whether once he popped,
What?
he can't stop.
Oh yeah. Were you popping last night?
I was popping some moves. Yeah.
By the way, I'm not just saying this. I've just gone onto the YouTube channel for Game Changers on Colourful TV. The background looks amazing.
Thanks, mate.
I said the background.
Oh, sorry.
Not you. But yeah. So have we got any music ready there, Adam? Because I'm really looking forward to this. I think this will be a great start to the show. We're 8 minutes in. We haven't spoken about any sport. I promise you will. But as I said at the top of the show,
it's different.
I've given it a bit of a refurb, haven't I?
Yeah.
It's sport and entertainment.
Well, this is entertainment.
Well, let's hope so. Adam, any
That
danger,
was a good
mate?
sport.
We're going to have to get Adam Bradley sacked and get Bradley Adam in. Because this is ridiculous. We never get Bradley in this early. Right, have we got... Come on.
You told me to come on.
No.
So many adverts.
Yeah, there's a lot of adverts. Right, what can we do? No, because we want sponsors. So anyone who wants to fill this gap now, this is your opportunity. I can't believe how good that background looks. I'm going to go so far to say I think that looks better than what we've normally had. It looks fantastic.
I think we look great, by the way.
We do. When did you get a trim?
Wednesday.
Yeah, you can tell.
Yeah.
Right, so here we go. Then take it away. Luke Henry story time on a Saturday night.
It's nice, that. So,
Perfect.
I'll take your mind back to last year Boogie Town. Now, last year's Boogie Town was an incredible lineup. Consisted, great word.
Yep.
Thank you. Of the likes of Evelyn Champagne King, Jocelyn Brown,
Yeah.
Billy Ocean, UB40, Sister Sledge, one after the other. So we just stayed at main stage.
Oh, as you do.
Well, you don't normally just stay at one venue or one stage. You normally have a wander round. We couldn't. And we got chatting to...
This music is so good.
Yeah, it's great. We got chatting to a couple of lovely ladies last year.
Oh, yeah.
Really, really good fun. They lived in Southampton, so...
oh, you've got some ties with that part of the world,
yeah, because of uni, that's how it all started. And obviously we were dancing, and again, they were like, oh, how do you know all the words? That kind of thing, because we've been brought up the right way with music.
What are you trying to say?
Oh, I just
think...
think...
That was a sly dig.
No, just like, you're just Odyssey, good stuff. You're probably looking at me like, Space Odyssey, who's
Honestly,
that?
I feel like he's talking a different language
Yeah,
last time.
there you go.
Carry on, we'll go with it.
So yeah, that was it. And then this year, it was quite funny because this year was more dotted around. There was Odyssey was in one tent, there was other acts in another tent. So you didn't really have to be on the. We didn't want to go to the main stage until about 5 p.m. because that's when Earth, Wind and Fire Experience was on with Alan McKay. So anyway,
honestly, you could be making these up for all I know.
You know Earth, Wind and Fire, mate.
Nah.
You do know Earth, Wind and Fire. So anyway, we get down about 5 o'clock to the main stage, having to sing and a dance, and then lo and behold, the same two ladies that we met last year.
Would you Adam and Eve it live on Game Changers?
We're right back in, right in front of us. It was quite funny. Obviously, we didn't know if they were actually going to remember us. Turns out they did remember us. And yeah, I spent a few hours with them. It was lovely. Watched the football, and we went home. Me and Curtis went to the hotel, had a cup of tea, called it a night.
You did what?
Well, I had a cup of tea before bed because I'm a normal person.
Right.
Jobs are good.
Can we just rephrase? You're so lucky that I'm still putting up this story. By the way, at Anil Kandola, if you want to just check that out and get involved, get your messages in, get your words of love and words of criticism for Luke Henry.
Criticism?
Yeah, anything, any abuse, anything. We're used to that now, aren't we? So yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
Not in that bit, I'm not.
What?
Good story, good outfit, looked good in the picture, by the way. Just thought,
What picture was that? Because I haven't seen it yet.
You have, because you liked it on Instagram.
Yeah.
So that's
what you do that to me for?
Well, just being honest.
Baiting me up to the listening millions.
Yeah, but that's what we do. We're honest
Honestly.
on Game Changers.
Yeah, we are, mate. We're changing the game. So, yeah, you can cut the music now. So, anyway, take me a bit more through before we move on. Obviously, we've got so much to do. So, you were chatting to these ladies?
Yeah, it was just like, it was quite funny because I haven't spoken 365 days. And then,
was it like...
And then we just chatting like how we've all been.
Yeah,
and then...
any shout-outs for any of these special ladies?
And then Shalimar came on.
Oh, yeah.
Afterwards, so we had a nice
that
party.
gets you going.
Yep, Shalimar, one of the very best. And then after that was Gloria Gaynor. Very good. So it was a great evening. It was just nice not to be in the office and have a break.
Yeah.
So the Champion Summer is started now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So how did you initiate the...
Well, okay, I'll give you some lessons.
So
when you see
if you fancy a nice woman and you're out on a night out,
when you see
you're
someone
dancing with them and you want to give them maybe like a little.
Well, when you see someone you know,
smooch, what would you do?
What
would you do if you wanted to like maybe take it to the next level and perhaps give them a little smooch?
Depends on the situation, mate.
But I don't know, maybe like a place where there's playing loads of your good music and you've bumped into her for the second time in 2 years.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just painting the picture.
Yep.
A little bit older, perhaps, because obviously the music. Chalamet. Timothy Chalamet, was it? Shalimar, Timothy Shalimar. And
Chalamet.
What else is it? UB40, what else?
No, they weren't there. They're actually at Electric Paradise, which is on August the 8th.
Okay, brilliant.
Candy Staton, UB40, Grace Jones. Yeah. See?
Right.
Blown away.
Hell of a lineup.
Yeah,
Hell of a lineup.
Great lineup. Right, so...
You did, honestly.
No, I'm just asking generally, like, if you were in that situation, you did want to perhaps take it to the next level and maybe, like, try and go in for a little smooch, in a respectful way, of course. How would you go about it?
Make a few flirty lines.
Like what? What would you say?
Well, it depends.
Just in the moment. Why you got a smirk on your face?
Well, no, because...
Why you got a smirk on your face?
Huh?
What?
What do you mean why have I got a smirk on my face?
You what?
No, because I know what you're trying to do,
What?
mate. Huh?
What?
Why are you looking at me like that
No,
for?
I'm just asking. Look, mate, I haven't got as much luck with the ladies as you.
No,
have,
for a
unfortunately.
fight. No, for a fight.
So I'm just trying to take
like,
a few tips.
Well, I'm going on holiday at the end of the month anyway.
Who are you with?
Yeah, just a solo trip, actually.
Oh, really? Yeah.
What are you laughing?
I've heard about these holidays. It's
Yeah,
not to
but
the Far East, is it?
Yeah, should we move
they're
on
good,
then?
those solo holidays.
Yeah.
What are you laughing for?
Right, the 2026 World Cup is reaching its climax, and of course, TalkSport have you covered from wall to wall. Hit the audio.
Let's go.
Dembele charging on and finding the net. Dembele, too hot to handle. The favourites have delivered. France are into the World Cup semi-finals. Someone's just lost it, and it's hammered in, and yet again, it's Mikel Merino, and has surely won the game for Spain and taken them into the semi-finals. Lautaro Martinez sets the seal on Argentina's passage through to the semi-finals. Spilled by the goalkeeper and bundled in. England lead. It is Jude Bellingham again. 2 minutes are up, and England are in the semi-finals of the World Cup. And it's Argentina versus England to come in Atlanta on Wednesday night, live on TalkSport.
Yes, that is correct. The final four are set, and what a semi-final lineup we've got at the 2026 FIFA World Cup. England are through after a very dramatic and difficult extra-time win over Norway, keeping their dream of a second World Cup alive. Thomas Tuchel's side shown resilience through the knockout stages and now face their toughest test yet. Standing in their way of reigning world champions once again are the current world champions, Argentina. Lionel Messi and co needed extra time themselves to see off Switzerland, setting up a mouth-watering showdown, which will also be Lionel Messi's first ever game against England. Can you believe it? And the other semi-final, just in case that wasn't good enough, sees two European heavyweights go head-to-head as France take on Spain. France have looked every bit like title contenders, while Spain have continued to impress with their possession-based football and ability to prevent the goals going in. Only one conceded throughout the whole of the campaign for the Spaniards.
Incredible.
What a phenomenal record that is. So it's England, it's Argentina, it's France and it's Spain. The final four featuring the current world champions, the European champions, 3 former World Cup winners, 2 huge semi-finals, 4 footballing giants, and by the end of the week, we'll know who'll be playing for football's biggest prize, Luke Henry. We'll go into it. Look, there's so much, isn't there, to talk about in terms of England's win, the semi-finals in isolation, respectively, and of course, who would make the final, what's going to happen in the final, all that. I think we should start with England. Okay. So, as we already know, England reached the World Cup semi-finals with that dramatic 2-1 win over extra time. It was a difficult game for the Three Lions. Perhaps shades of some previous performances still yet to be desired in terms of a full 90-minute, solid, impressive display from Thomas Tuchel's England side. Thoughts, simply, Luke Henry, from that game? I know you were boogieing, but you're a football man, you would have been right.
I sat down. Look, before I get onto it, I've got to make a little bit of a confession to the millions of listeners listening and the millions of people watching. I'm not getting emotional about it, but I am going through a bit of a hay fever.
You sound awful.
Well, no, it's just I'm about to sneeze.
OK, go on then.
If I sneeze...
Just sneeze.
If I made it aware that I was going to sneeze, then it sounds more professional than just going, achoo. So I'll sneeze.
But how can you predict a sneeze?
Well, because I can feel it coming, and you haven't said lemons. So if I sneeze...
Lemons.
Then it's too late now. So let me sneeze, and then I'll be...
Just bring him down. It's not hay.
What's that? What is that? What?
Well, I'll tell you what it is. I'll tell you what it is, right?
It's not hay fever.
It's this. It's Beckinase. It is...
Other brands available?
Correct. Hay fever relief for adults.
Well, it's not working, is it?
Well, it is, because what it does...
Fever.
What is it? The love
World
bug?
Cup fever.
Oh, it's the World Cup fever.
It's definitely not.
It's not.
Because if it was, I'd be sick as a pig. So what it does, if for people to know, is that when you take it, you know it works because it tries to empty everything.
Right,
so
OK, great. Anyway, so can we empty your thoughts instead on England?
Very good, very good. Well, I would be concerned...
You would?
Yeah. Well, no, hold on, let me rephrase that. If they keep saying that they need this complete performance and they want to take the foot off the handbrake and put pedal to the metal and all that, then you would be concerned because we still haven't delivered a 90-minute performance. Thomas Tuchel did make it abundantly clear that games against Congo and Mexico weren't about being good. It was just getting the job and doing it over the line. I actually thought we were very good against Mexico, to be brutally honest. But we weren't great against Norway, and there is a repeating pattern about being 1-0 down or drawing at half-time. I know you're in a semi-final, but, you know, like anything, how long can that luck run out for or run with? And, yeah, look, football's a game of moments and fine margins, and a couple of the moments went our way. I mean, for the life of me, Sorloth, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Just pass it to Harden, it's 2-0.
It's 2-0, it's game over.
We're in a world of trouble.
Yeah.
I thought their goal that was disallowed was, yeah, it's a push, but it's soft.
I don't think it's a foul.
It's soft.
I don't think it's a foul. If that was given the other way, we would be in uproar and rightly so.
So there was some decent performances. Obviously, the case in point being Bellingham. I think
we will speak about very shortly.
Yeah. But look, they're in the semi-final, and I have to be brutally honest. It's the minimum expectation when you look at who they could play, who they had played. You know, we've labelled to Gareth Southgate for doing that and getting to a World Cup quarter-final to a Euros final. So the bar's been set high, so he'll probably get judged even more now against Argentina. If England do put a really, really strong performance in against Argentina, obviously make the final, then I think they've got a case in point for obviously being really confident. But right now, it's going to be tight.
It's going to be very tight indeed. It's hard. I think it's the age-old question, isn't it? And I was asking you this so much throughout the season, and I know it's easy to say in hindsight, well, obviously it's only about winning because that's what your boys Arsenal did, which we will speak about at 8 o'clock, for a slightly different reason and more annoyingly. Can you stop? What are you doing?
Just said Arsenal back.
Oh, God.
Champion summer.
Oh,
what do you want to talk about, mate?
We'll get to that later on the show, OK? It's England time. This is the constant battle I have in my head with England, right?
It's me then.
Not with you. It's not a battle. I'm just trying to get rid of you. We're working on Gabe, but he's a bit expensive. So this is the age-old issue, OK? Is it...
How much does he bet, though?
A lot more than you.
OK.
A lot more than you. So anything more than...
Three quid.
Yeah, 3,000. But look, going back to it for third and final time, we'll try again. This is the problem I have in my head, OK? Is it a great sign that England are winning when they're not playing really good, and is that the sign of champions? Or is it quite a worrying fact that they haven't played top-level opposition yet and still haven't really provided us with a full match of a surety, of being impressive, of being in control and allowing England fans to think, OK, right, well, we can almost look at these games and go, look how good we are. I don't think we've had a single game where it's felt relaxed.
No.
We've played, with all due respect, the likes of DR Congo, Panama, Ghana, who we didn't even beat, Mexico. I get it was in Mexico City, but realistically, on paper, the teams are nowhere near as good as each other. Mexico's best player plays in the second division of England's tiers. So I just don't know. I don't know. And I think ultimately we're going to get our answers so much in this Argentina game. Not just with, have we been gearing ourselves up for a top-level performance at the perfect time at the business end of a competition, or is it the age-old problem, whether it was Sir Gareth Southgate or any of the previous incumbents, is it just simply that England have found their level as the third, maybe best team in the world, and the semi-finals is ultimately at the world-level stage their ceiling?
Yeah, it's a combination of both. I look at France for that. Look very comfortable against Sweden. Look really good against Morocco. Played an ugly game, but we're in complete control against Paraguay. And it showed all different avenues to win football matches. And they look really, really assured. That's like the problem it is, because England don't really look that assured. They look like they're getting the job done and they look efficient.
But this is what I mean. Is that a good sign? Is that encouraging that you're still grinding out the results? Or is it you're labouring here to, unfortunately, once again, a semi-final maximum? I think all our answers will be laid to rest.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a combination of both things. I think it's good to win games when you're not playing particularly well, but also at that same time, even for yourself as players, you probably want to put in a complete performance of 90 minutes. So the Congo game's a bit different because we had so many chances in the first half. You know, if the keeper was having a worldie, we probably would have gone in at 2-1. We probably would have allayed our fears. We might have gone on 1-4-1 and a little bit. That's what we have. Is that we do have our over-reliance on Jude Bellingham and Harry Kane in terms of sources of goals.
Only Rashford has scored a goal outside of them two in the whole of this competition. The first time in World Cup history that the same nation has had two players with six goals or more in the same team.
Yeah, so I would say it
is phenomenal, but it's worrying.
Yeah, I think that's
very worrying.
A bit of a concern.
Especially when Kane performs the way that he did yesterday.
Yeah.
Just not even bang average, just non-existent.
Yeah, it happens when you play that and we'll drop deep and there's no runners. And tactically, I really can't understand this new fascination in the last two recent games with Tuchel playing Gordon in this really weird inverted role. He wants him to come inside all the time. Obviously, it worked for the goal, but go on the outside, beat him. That's why you've got Madueke and then Gordon to run at you, which is why Rashford's not coming on. He's prioritising Eze. Yeah, a couple of situations there I'm a bit confused about. I think it's all about balancing a team, really, isn't it? But if you're going to play Kane deep, you need runners. You need runners. We've said that since 2018. It's not rocket science.
Well, we'll very shortly be hearing from Thomas Tuchel, but do you think this Argentina game is quite simply our defining moment in order to decide whether or not going for Thomas Tuchel was the correct decision? Or do you think already, just even to get here, as you've already alluded to, the Mexico game, you know, defending resolutely, 10 men, switching it up, 5 at the back, but it was a good decision to see the game out. Yesterday's game, albeit not the most glamorous, if you like, from an England perspective, but they found a way to win once again. Do you think the appointment of Thomas Tuchel has been vindicated already, or does he quite simply need to be a heavyweight like Argentina?
Well, simplistically, it's the fact that if you beat Argentina, you beat the reigning world champions. That's a testament of quality. I can't see you fluking that result. I know people are going to look at Cape Verde and Egypt and what have you, but Argentina is still very, very exceptional size, some really, really top players. It's going to be a horrible game. It's going to be a real physical battle. And look, like I said earlier, 8 years ago, Gareth Southgate, what was it, semi-final for World Cup? If Tuchel gets the same thing, I don't think he's failed, but I don't think he's done a brilliant job. I think he's just done... he's done a fine job. He's done a decent job. I actually think if he does get knocked out to Argentina, there'll be more calls about some of the squad selection. I am still a bit baffled, and I said it then and I say it now. I know you've got a 26-man squad and you want to save your headaches, but why did you actually pick Watkins? Why did you pick Tony?
Mainu.
Why did you pick Kobbie Mainu? There must have been some thought process when you've got 26 players. Surely you want...
Yeah.
But you've kept it to pretty much 20.
Yeah,
I know
I know
Watkins has played, but again, like, I'm watching it in a live game. If it's 1-1, simplistically, you want your attackers on the pitch.
Yeah.
OK, I'm not saying take Kane off, but I'm saying...
Should have last night, let's be honest.
Put
Let's
Tony up with Kane or
something
different.
I was with Gabby Agbonhor last night at the Birmingham fan park, doing a bit of work for TalkSport. And I even said to him during the game, we've got a 24, 26-man squad, but realistically, we've got a 15-man squad. We may have names on the team sheet and faces on the bench, but in reality, the only few players are going to be brought on are the defensive changes to see out games or like-for-like swaps on the wide areas in terms of Gordon / Rashford and Saka / Madueke. Quick word on Madueke before we move on to Thomas Tuchel and Jude Bellingham. He ain't it, mate.
Yeah, I've always said he's... You see the difference between him and Saka.
That is like, straight away he comes on and, you know, this isn't exactly breaking news, don't worry, Adam, we don't have to put anything up on the screen, but Saka likes cutting inside. But he can, no problem. The first time I can remember...
Have he got like a game-changer's like stat?
Breaking news. OK, let's not do that. But what I'm saying is, we all know that Saka likes to come inside. What was the first thing he did when he got the ball? Got his head down and went on the right and whipped the ball in with his right foot. It's the variety. We understand that there are things that you are better than, other attributes to your game, especially a left-footed player on the right-hand side. You're going to naturally want to come inside. Just by the way that you're dribbling with the ball, it will be on the outside of your foot, just where your pinky toe is. You're going to keep it on the edge there just so you can cut inside and try and either whip a ball in or take a shot on target. I get all that, but you need to have an element of fluidity or variation in order to be able to really, essentially, just confuse your defender.
Yeah.
You know, it's just making them feel like they haven't got it easy. And the moment that he came on, you just thought, OK, finally we've got a bit of an outlet, Adam.
Yeah, no, as a Chelsea fan and watching him last season for a whole season, you realise he's very good at what he does, Madueke, but he's only got one dimension to his game. And he's good at it. And sometimes throwing him on, get at them.
Yeah, really direct. Yeah.
You know, and sometimes, moments in games, that's what you need. But... I mean, Saka's a wonderful player. There's so many dimensions to his games. And, yeah, wasn't it so obvious when he came on?
The difference, the golfing class, yeah.
But I do just want to say, wipe the slate clean. It's a semi-final. It's France, Spain, England, Argentina.
Very
four
positive.
teams that we all thought would be there are there. And we said at the beginning, and we should say it now, any one of those teams can be any one of them on any given day.
Yeah.
We can win this. We really can.
Well, he's really positive, hasn't he? And it's not just his delusion. Like, he's been this from the start. He has been from the get-go.
OK. I don't want to pop a balloon in the...
Or pee on your parade.
OK.
Yeah, no,
or pop a balloon.
That's not a thing. I don't want to pop your balloon. Burst your bubble. Pop your balloon. That's not.
Burst your balloon, I think, is
Yeah, burst your... What did I say?
Burst your bubble.
I don't want to burst your bubble. Pop your balloon. Or pee on your parade.
Anyway...
I don't want to... we're just giving you 3 options.
I was going to say something then, but I realised I can't
You're
say
live
that.
on radio
yeah.
and on YouTube, www.youtube.com.
On your cornflakes.
Pee on your cornflakes?
Yeah, it's not,
It's not
It was
nice.
on your chips when I was younger.
Yeah, pee on your chips.
Oh,
yeah,
is that
yeah.
Oh, was it?
You don't pee on your own chips. Don't mess things up for yourself, as you were.
And you never eat yellow snow. You know what you said then? What? It was just
No, but who eats snow anyway?
I'm just saying, it's a fact.
Just continue.
You said, what did you say? Because you said any team can win it. Realistically, and I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, I'm not sure how England beat France.
Yeah, I think
seen
the
France.
Argentina conversation is there to be had, even though unfortunately, I do think that Argentina have got the upper hand for a couple of reasons, which we will get onto. But how are you supposed to stop France? Barcola's on the bench. He gets brought on for 10 minutes. He would get into every side in the Premier League, and he gets 10 minutes when they're 2 goals up at the end, just for fresh.
And it's not even a
We look
quality
at their
thing.
squad. We look at their squad, and yeah, without shadow of a doubt, the best squad the most gifted squad is the French squad. They've got the best team. They are the #1 team in the world. We all know that. However, why would we go into a final thing? Oh, we can't beat. No, let's go into it thinking, yeah, we can beat this team because we can. Look at the players we've got. Look at how well Jude Bellingham's playing. Harry Kane, yeah, he didn't play that well last night. Fine, we got through. That's all that matters, and that's all that matters in football is winning. And we can win this. I mean, if we go in the whole, everyone, I've heard it for years and years. World Cups, oh, England. Even when it gets better, people are still moaning.
He's going at you.
He's going at me.
He's going at you.
It's only because I was thinking from the perspective of they did lose the World Cup final 4 years ago. Deschamps is leaving. I'm not even talking about the quality
Just
of the
from
squad.
their
Just their point of view.
Yeah.
Do you really think they're going to want to lose
No.
back-to-back World Cup finals?
Yeah,
There have been points in this World Cup where, due to the style of play Deschamps wants them to play, admittedly, with their strike force, it kind of changes when he gets into the final third. There have been moments where you can get at France.
I don't know if there has.
Maybe, but if there's moments you can get at France, then there's certainly a few more moments you get at England. But look, that's what we're going to be talking about, isn't it?
France will be in the final.
Oh, we will get onto
He's
that
good, to be
very
fair.
shortly. Very
Marino
shortly.
is good.
Yeah, okay, yeah, you're right.
What are you laughing?
Mourinho.
Mourinho, he's
Real
not
Madrid.
Jose.
But he is
They
good.
got
You're
knocked out.
Mourinho.
Mikel Marino.
Honestly, I hate the fact that he keeps scoring. What is going on? Anyway, one of the massive talking points of yesterday's game, not just, of course, the match, the fact that England are in the Final Four for what feels like a lifetime ago now, the post-match has also brought a lot of talking points, to say the least. Thomas Tuchel wasn't pleased with the performance, and it seemed Jude Bellingham didn't agree. Here's what Bellingham had to say, but before that, this is exactly what the England manager said about the 2-1 win against Norway.
We made life very, very difficult for ourselves today. The result is fantastic. We're in the last 4. It's amazing, but not happy with the performance. So again, the commitment is there, but we made life very, very difficult for us in the way we played, how we played. We were lucky today.
Yeah, well, whatever. It's difficult out there. It's difficult. It's a tough shift. All the players are putting a very tough shift. So my thoughts and appreciation goes to the players who's out there who put in a great shift yet again.
Maybe he doesn't know what it's like to play in those kind of conditions against Erling Haaland, Odegaard, Nusa, Sorloth. You know, that's not an easy team to play against. So, I think we've tried to create a positive environment. We should continue that going into the Final Four. I can't speak highly enough for the lads. You're not going to win every game popping the ball and making 1,000 passes. Sometimes you have to win dirty, and we've done that again tonight.
Now, look, before we get into this, as an individual who works in the media, this is just gold. No matter what angle you look at this at. Now, of course, there are the very cynical members of the media, as we've already seen even in the build-up to this World Cup, potentially suggesting that Jude Bellingham shouldn't even start for England, which is just unbelievable, to say the least. But also, because you dive into it, it's almost like they've lifted the curtain almost, haven't they? You see what they're really like as people and individuals. Now, before I give my opinion, and before we get into both sides of the coin, if you like, let's start with Thomas Tuchel, Luke. What did you think of Thomas Tuchel's post-match interview? Did you like what he said? And is that something you want to see from your England manager?
Yeah, absolutely fine. Raw, honest. It's not playing up to the gallery or the cameras. He said it, he wants a complete performance. He wasn't happy with it. I think everyone would have been quite surprised if he come out and said, that's the England I was looking for. It wasn't great. He alluded to that. Delighted with it. He was delighted with the win. but he wanted more. And then obviously the pushback about the mentality comes from the fact that his players actually have dug in. They've shown elite mentality. It's not about that. It's talking about actual football quality that needs to be transcended and put onto the pitch and played in practice. Tuchel sets a very, very high level in training. We've had the likes of Anthony Gordon, Marcus Rashford, Bukayo Saka. I think Morgan Rogers as well spoken about training methods and
there is that consensus that the intensity is sometimes more than the game, because then you're more prepared. Well, not over-prepared, but very prepared.
Yeah, exactly. Game, So, no, listen, you have your views on this whole situation. For me, I think this whole thing is just complete hot air.
I disagree.
Yeah, I know.
It's not hot air.
I think it's...
I think when you're allowed an insight into the mindset and the way that these top high-level individuals are operating, you can't just go, it's, whatever. And I think, look, the key thing with the Jude Bellingham stuff, we'll get on to Jude in a minute, but the key thing is that the time that we just heard him there, off the back of the Tuchel interview, that was actually two separate interviews.
Yeah.
So the first one was the one where he went, whatever. That was with TV, quite literally after the game, as in he was still breathing heavily, sweating, it was straight after the game. The second one was the mixed zone area, which means that he's had a couple of minutes, he's calmed down, and it's not just the raw emotion of the game. And he's doubled down on it. Now, we'll park Bellingham for a second, because I really want to speak about this individual, because how much and how long can we spend talking about him? But let's park that for a second. I do agree with you. I think Tuchel speaking like that in the way that he did, and I feel sorry for Gabriel Clark, because he just never strikes me as an individual. That's the journalist, for those who are listening, who was asking Tuchel the questions that got him so wild up, assumably anyway. I think it's unfortunate for him, but at the end of the day, if you talk, that's what your job is in the media, right? It is raw, it is honest. I just think, out of the two, I think my problem lies a little bit more with Tuchel. I think he just really brushed over the fact that England have got to a semi-final after their players have worked their backsides off into the ground in order to get there. I get it wasn't a good performance. I started the show by saying it wasn't. But I think that's the moment to really lead with, we've got to a semi-final, but it wasn't a good performance and we'll work on that. It was the other way around. It wasn't a good performance. We need to work on that, but we're in a semi-final. I understand it's a top-level elite manager, of course it is, but we've got top-level elite players amongst that squad. And you saw with Jude Bellingham's reaction, he knew himself it wasn't a great performance. He said it in the end of that interview that we just heard then. Sometimes you've got to win ugly. It's not going to be bopping around 1,000 passes, but we get the job done and then we think about how we can improve ourselves. I just think that was the slight issue I had with the Thomas Tuchel interview.
Yeah, I see your point. I just think it's two very, very elite people just trying to fight to the top.
They are at the top of their game, aren't they?
Tuchel, well, I don't obviously know Tuchel, but Tuchel doesn't care that he's in a semi-final. He's not bothered by one jot.
I don't think Bellingham is either.
No, that's the point. So they want the best, they want to win well. I think Jude's probably disappointed that it was 2-1, went to extra time, and they played the way they did. Tuchel's the same. I think it's just an expression of opinions. I don't think there's a rocky relationship there. I think it's all...
Do you think you need everyone singing off the same hymn sheet?
No, I think you have to have people that can look at it from another perspective and another lens. I think that's quite important. Yes, I think when you have players that can push back, I even look, for example, Arsenal, I think Eberechi Eze after the Bournemouth game when we lost 2-1, he went up to Arteta and said, "Gaffer, we're going to lie to you, we need a couple of days off," which takes a big responsibility to be as a summer signing at that stage of the season and going, listen, I still think we can win the league, but I think the players need a couple of days off. I think we're all a bit mentally shattered here. And then Arteta listens to it and goes, OK, I never really saw it from that point of view. That's it. I think this is the same thing. I think we've got to be careful, the media have got to be careful to beef up a story 72 hours before one of the most glamorous games between Argentina and a World Cup semi-final. Tuchel's not happy, rightly so. Bellingham wants more. Bellingham is the type of player that would probably win 4-0 and always be the best critic of himself because he wants to be the best. And he will be England's greatest ever player. I think that's pretty goes without saying now. I think it's just completely incredible. So I like things like that. I like that.
Too. I thought it was perfect. I genuinely... I was watching it last night and I was kind of giggling away at it because I thought, this is brilliant.
Yeah.
I thought the line of questioning from Gabriel Clark, who is a classy presenter.
Yeah, he's not a
But I
clickbait
didn't
merchant, is
think
he?
it- I must say I'm getting sick and tired of...
Sorry
what was the-
to cut across you. What was your issue with the questioning? Was it the timing? Was it the wording, the delivery? What was the issue?
The area of questioning in too many football, certainly post-match, is all about how do you feel? What was the mentality? It doesn't matter. These are pro elites, some of the most finest specimens of man you'll ever see. Their mentality's pretty strong. Like, that is not a problem. How do they feel? Well, how do you think they feel? You know, all those kind of questions I find quite irritating. So straight away I was a bit like, you know, don't talk about their mentality. Look at these players.
Yeah. And
So I thought
Tuchel's answer reflected that. Yeah,
was brilliant.
Yeah.
And then I was waiting when Jude Bellingham, when he gave his response, I thought, yes, you're a world-class player.
Yeah.
Whatever, we won. That's the player attitude. The manager who's the perfectionist, though, that's his attitude. I want a perfectionist manager and world-class players. And I thought it just expressed that completely. I was very happy with the interviews, really was.
Yeah. Right, I think it's time, isn't it?
4.
We're going to have to talk about Jude Bellingham.
Go on.
Where do you even start with Jude Bellingham? Honestly, I said this to I was speaking to my family the other day. And do you know what I love about the World Cup, by the way? I absolutely love about the World Cup is, like, my mum and my sister actively probably slag football off a little bit. Like, they're like, why do you get so invested? Why are you so bothered about people just kicking a ball around the pitch? It's so pathetic. Like, why do you let it deem your whole weekend? Why have you made a job out of it, etc., etc.? But the World Cup starts, the group chat's popping off, they're staying up till 3, 4 in the morning to watch the game. My mum's watching games that aren't even relevant to England. I watched a bit of the game with her last night and, you know, I caught a couple of minutes of it. She was screaming, shouting, oh, gosh, come on, oh, this... That's World Cup fever, isn't it? It's amazing how it just grips everyone in the world. Yeah. That's why it's just the most exceptional sporting event, I think, in the world. I love the sports, and you look at so many of the amazing sports, the climactic moments are phenomenal, but there's nothing like the World Cup. There's absolutely nothing. And there's nothing like Jude Bellingham. This player, this individual, let's just run you through the career that this boy has had, OK? He made his Birmingham City debut age 16, becoming the club's youngest ever senior player. He then made his England senior debut at just 17. He joined Real Madrid, OK? Not the second team, not the developing squad, Real Madrid's first team on a 6-year contract, OK? And since he's been at that time, he's won already major honours like the Liga, like the Champions League. He's already made a key involvement with England already in the tournaments that he's had. You know, the Euros, the World Cups, this current World Cup. We've seen this young man blossom before our eyes. He burst onto the scene as a young kid with huge potential, made his move to Real Madrid, and there was a lot made about the way he carried himself after he joined Real Madrid. You know, and there is almost not necessarily an imposter syndrome, but you have signed for the biggest club in the world, you have reached the highest of high and the peak of the mountain before you're even 25. That is a very difficult thing to try and navigate your way through, especially then when all of the nation of England turn to you as the saviour, as the man who's going to take England back to the glory days. He has grown before our very eyes. This individual has realised his responsibility within the team, within the setup, and within the eyes and hearts of the nation. I know what I'm about to say, and I don't say it lightly. This boy is a generational talent. He is by far the best England product that we have ever seen since Wayne Rooney. And he genuinely has the potential, and he is well on his way to becoming England's greatest ever player. We've watched him mature now into the 1% club, the elite of the elites out there within all of the top footballers. There is nothing he can't do. Score goals, right foot, left foot, inside the box, outside the box, with his head, with any part of his body on the goal line. He can do it all. And people, and again, I know what I'm saying here, people who ever ridicule Jude Bellingham or even had the hesitation of this man being in the squad should hang their heads in shame. He is not only our best player, I genuinely believe he has been the best player at the 2026 World Cup, OK? Jude Bellingham has now scored 2 goals in 2 consecutive matches and is the first player to do so since Diego Maradona, OK? The 2 only players who have scored more goals than Jude Bellingham at this time of their career are Mbappe and Pele. Listen to the players we're putting in the same bracket with Jude Bellingham. He should never, ever be overestimated. He should never be underestimated either, and we should realise what we have on our hands. Potentially the greatest product that's ever come out of this country. And he's a West Midlands boy. Just had to throw that in there. Luke Henry.
Very nice. Yeah. And the big thing about all of that is he's not playing in the Premier League, which I think has been the biggest positive of his career. I think he will.
Is that the next step for him then?
No, absolutely, categorically
not.
not.
I'm not saying next year or next 2 years or 3 years, but he is at the pinnacle of football. What is the next step for him?
I wouldn't bother.
At all? And stay at Real Madrid for the rest of your career?
Why not?
I don't push back. You're at the height.
I just think if he comes here at 26...
I don't think there's a team or a project that's even worth his time.
Well, you just see it already. You'll always have the questions, what's going on with Jude Bellingham. Same what we've seen. I'm not going to compare them, but it's the same with what we've had with Phil Foden over the years. It's the same with what we had Cole Palmer. What we do very well is we call them brilliant, and then we like to tear them up and spit them out, quite frankly.
To the British media.
So, no, I think he's some talent. I sat here a lot of times on this show and gone, look, you just start Jude Bellingham, you don't have to negotiate it. No, I always think he's going to be England's greatest ever player. I think that's seamless.
He's 23.
He's already made, I think, 54 caps, maybe 55. Like I said, if you do the maths, Kane made his debut in 2015, 11 years. Kane's on about 119 games. So you look at Bellingham, could easily do 150 for England, providing that the manager, should play him.
Managers.
And also the fact he doesn't get a serious injury. So, listen, he's the type of player that make you believe that you can win a World Cup. Because England probably have one of the greatest players.
But this is the thing, though, as well. He's so patriotic. You can tell it means so much to him to play for England. And he realises he is living every boy and young girl's dream out there to put on the colours of your nation and to represent them and to have your country on your back, not even literally, but also in the emotion perspective as well. The fact that he is just so passionate, you know, it excites you. And I've almost got to the stage now, and at the start of the World Cup, I wanted to win the World Cup, obviously because I'm an England fan, but a little bit because I wanted Harry Kane to get the plaudits he deserves. That's all gone now. Even more so than me being an England fan, I want England to win the World Cup because of Jude Bellingham. This boy has just represented the personification of what it means to play for your country and to do it with every ounce of heart and soul you have got in your body. He is just a manager's dream on the pitch. Like, what more can you ask for? To get 2 goals again out of nothing. That first goal he scored was not even half a chance when he first picked up the ball.
Yeah,
when the ball got pulled into him in the middle of the area, I think he was just outside the box. The first touch to let him off on his run, it's just worldly level. It is just worldly level.
Yep.
Are we one injury away from losing everything?
No, because we do have an abundance of talent. You just don't have anything like Jude Bellingham. It's the same with France. You lose Mbappe, you're going to take a little bit of a risk.
Here's a question for you then. Let's stop messing around and let's talk game changers, changing the game live on Colourful Radio. One player gets sent off in the semi-final against Argentina, but we make it to the final. Who are you picking to get sent off out of Kane or Bellingham? Hello?
Bellingham.
Really? Adam?
Bellingham, yes!
What? Only because there's no one close to Harry Kane in his position.
I think you're reading that
Bellingham, there are much better replacements for Bellingham than there are for Kane, but that reflects nothing at all on the quality of Bellingham and what he's done for us. It's as simple as we have a dearth of strikers and we have a plethora of centre midfielders.
Yeah, that's what it is.
It's
not a quality thing. It's a sensible.
I can't believe this.
Well, no, it's not.
I can't believe this.
No, but
Bellingham would probably
you're thinking about the name. You're not.
No.
So okay, what would you do?
No,
so what?
No.
You're saying. You're saying.
Look at Kane's records. Look at Kane's record in the final. Look at Kane's record in the big games. He doesn't perform in them games. Bellingham does.
You're missing the point. You're missing the point.
Morgan Rogers is nowhere near the player Bellingham is. Like, nowhere near.
He's a lot closer to Bellingham
no way.
than Watkins
not a
or
chance.
Tony are to Kane.
Not a chance. Not a chance.
As
Not
are-
a
Okay,
chance.
so what happens in the World Cup final?
There is no way you're for a second going to suggest that the golfing class between Morgan Rogers and Jude Bellingham is much closer than it is between Harry Kane and Ollie Watkins. Let me just remind you.
Morgan Rogers, Bayern Munich
Yeah.
are arrangements. Morgan Rogers, Bayern Munich are arrangements to do Rogers.
And they could be, and that's fine. But we're also talking about a player who plays for, by far and away, the biggest club, not even in football, in sports, at the age of 22.
You've taken this far too literally.
No, the question was literal.
But that's my point.
But the question was about a team.
Yeah.
Not the individual.
And what is best
Are you
for
joking?
So what would you do?
What would you? Are you being serious? What has Bellingham brought to the team?
No,
No,
what
no
would
one
you
said
do?
that. He's been the best player
For England in the World Cup.
without
Right,
shadow of a doubt.
okay. For the 150th time of asking the same question, what would you do? If Kane is red carded, what would you do?
You can play Watkins in the same system.
So you'd start Watkins with
Throwing
Bellingham.
the final.
If you had Kane suspended, or you'd rather go Kane with Rogers.
Or Eze.
Or Eze.
Yeah.
Or Eze.
Yeah,
You see,
absolutely.
I'll
tell you,
So hold on, you
it's
start Watkins.
wild. It's wild. I would rather play the final with Bellingham and Watkins than Kane and Rogers.
Then we're throwing the final.
Absolutely, I couldn't disagree more. What Morgan Rogers does is nowhere near what Bellingham does. And if we're talking about a team performance, of course, Watkins probably will, no disrespect, will never be as clinical as Harry Kane as much as he ever tries. But at the same time, he can still be effective. He can still come deep and contribute to the build-up play, which will allow Bellingham to go forward and so on and so forth. Rogers is just not, even if Rogers reached the peak of his powers, is just not capable of doing whatever Bellingham is. We have just spent the last 10 minutes talking about Jude Bellingham, and I agree, you're saying virtually, not quite yet, because for obvious reasons, but virtually he's England's greatest player. And you're going to leave him out over anyone.
And at the moment,
there's no way. Without
Harry
Bellingham,
Kane
you don't even get to here.
Sorry, but in the list of England's great players, Harry Kane is quite a bit above Jude Bellingham at the moment.
And quite a bit older than Jude Bellingham,
Correct.
over a decade.
Correct.
But that's irrelevant in a World Cup final.
No, but and then whatever metric you look at it, in a final, who has had previous in finals? Who has had previous in the biggest moments against the biggest teams? Bellingham has.
So is Kane.
Like what? Germany in the
Bayern
group
Munich.
stages.
He's
But Bayern
possibly-
Munich, when it's a one-horse race, and he lost it in the first season he was there.
Bayern Munich.
Bellingham won the Champions League and the La Liga in his first couple of seasons, or even season, right?
A club that have won three European Cups in a row.
Yeah, of course.
As
And Bayern
is
Munich,
Kane.
but Bayern Munich lost the league title in the first season Kane was there.
And
I'm
they
not
won
trying to
everything,
diminish
yes.
Harry Kane. He is
You realise
he is an
playing
all-time.
for Bayern Munich is as big as is very
No way.
very close.
No way, it's not.
Very very
No, it's
close
not.
to
I couldn't-
Real
I couldn't
Madrid.
disagree
Look
more.
across the history of football.
I couldn't
there
disagree
are certain
more.
teams.
I
They're
couldn't
bigger
disagree
than
more.
Barcelona.
Bayern Munich are in the same category as the Man Uniteds and the Liverpools. Real Madrid is on its own. Real Madrid is on its own, and I'm not even just talking about football. It's within
I don't
sports
agree.
altogether.
I think-
You cannot. And we've seen it before. You can, throughout Kane's career, you can have Kane in finals and lose them. With Bellingham, there is no way England win a World Cup without Bellingham in the starting 11 in the final. They wouldn't even be in the semi-final without
there's
Bellingham.
even less chance
They wouldn't even be.
without Kane.
They wouldn't even. That's not true. That I couldn't disagree more. If even just by a factual metric, if you take out all of Bellingham's contributions, goals and assists, they're gone. They're done. They're out of the World Cup already. I just can't believe you'd pick Kane over
Yeah, because
Bellingham.
I'm looking at it. I'm not looking at it from a player point of view. I'm looking
And
at
team and collective,
I'm
everything.
looking from
Bellingham's the most important thing in the whole of that England setup.
So if you ask me in Italia 90, who would I have taken out of the team, Gascoigne or Lineker? I would have taken Gascoigne out.
But
Because we couldn't replace Lineker. We had midfielders that.
Yeah,
were
I'm
closer
not-
to
there's one thing
Gascoigne.
having players
There's
who
more
can do
in
that.
the midfield. You can do more.
But
with the
Watkins
midfield.
can't replace Kane. Watkins physically.
And who can replace Bellingham?
No, you're missing the point.
No, but your point is no one can
you have
replace
far
No, I'm
more
talking about the
tactical options in midfield.
tactically and stylistically. You would never replace Ollie Watkins for Harry Kane because even Watkins has come out and said, me and Kane and Ivan Toney, we're three completely different strikers. With Bellingham, we're not saying Rodgers is on the same level or anywhere near it. But what we're saying is Rodgers can replicate the role that Bellingham does, so you have a natural balance going into the final.
There would be less ripples caused to England.
Because if you're putting Bellingham up front, you're going to have your midfield might be fractured, then it might affect O'Reilly.
Bellingham showed yesterday he can play in an 8, he can play in a 10, and at times he can play in a 6.
Yeah,
right?
perfect.
So he does all of this. Can Rodgers?
Well, Rodgers played in...
Rodgers?
Yes, because Rodgers played in the 8.
But can he do it to even remotely...
Well, hold on. Sorry.
He can't.
Sorry,
he can't.
Arsenal...
No,
sorry. The Premier League champions are signing Rodgers because they look at him as a left winger and a second striker and to play in the midfield.
Yeah.
Because when Villa played Arsenal 2024-5, he played in the midfield 3 and absolutely run the show against Declan Rice.
Yeah.
So Rodgers is very, very versatile.
He's very good, but he's not world class.
No, but you're missing
and you're talking about everything and all the things Kane does in that setup, right? That team is, and you can argue until the cows come home, that team is not set up just for Kane. The team is set up for Bellingham to do whatever he wants. You've got two solid players in Elliot Anderson and Declan Rice, so they can go, look, do what you want. We will be able to take care of everything. The dirty work, passing through the lines, passing sideways if we need to. We can do all the structure so you can be Jude Bellingham, OK?
But the problem is there are so many players nowadays in modern football that want to be in that just behind the striker. That there is so many of them. That look at who we left at home. Phil Foden, Cole Palmer. You know, the list is endless. How many strikers did we leave at home? There are no strikers of that quality around. Not even close.
But what I'm saying is, if we're talking about
change our playing style,
if we're talking about evidence alone, right, for England, Watkinson's proven he can make an impact. We've seen it factually. We've seen it in moments already, right? He's done it. He was the one who took us to the final of the Euros, OK? We've seen it factually. He can make an impact and contribute. Not just all the running figures and the stats, he can score goals, OK? We have not seen anything to suggest Morgan Rodgers can start a World Cup final in replacement of Jude Bellingham. It's a fascinating conversation, isn't it? And, of course, we'll have so much to come.
I will say that for those that are listening on radio and can't see the YouTube, I put the topic strap Jude the Truth Bellingham because years ago I heard just a throwaway comment from Ian Wright on one of the punditry they were doing on a game, and he called him Jude the Truth. And I thought, yeah, that
Jude
boy is the truth.
He's the truth.
He really is.
He's the truth.
Good.
I just, honestly, I can't. I genuinely never have had this connection with an England player before.
Kane's your captain. You say what you want. You're losing the captain in a World Cup final. I see your optics.
I think it is a great debate because I do think it is so divided. It's so divided.
But it depends what you want. You're not going to replace quality, but also...
You can't replace either of them, but I just think
stylistically,
from what he's done all the way up to now, Bellingham has shown you can't do anything with
I would probably lean more into Adam's camp, personally, because you've got ways of solving that number 10 issue. I just think...
Right, should we do the quickest ever winners and losers?
Or we could just do it at 8 o'clock.
No, we'll do it now. Hit it.
Everyone's a winner, baby, that's the truth. I'm a loser, baby, so why don't you kill me?
Right, OK, so my winner is going to be very quickly Jude Bellingham. Over to you, Luke.
Dan Burn.
Oh, Danny B.
It's quite funny how we
I'll take both of them as winners.
Yeah, it's quite funny. We did a show and we weren't even in a quarter-final and now we're in a semi-final. We came on yesterday, big header. That's England for you. And his performance in Mexico was... Yeah, everything associated with making your debut in the World Cup.
And he's just so grateful for even 1 minute on the pitch. I bloody loved that.
Great story.
Absolutely love that.
Fair play, mate.
What a guy. Love Dan Burn. My loser, very quickly and very easy. Erling Haaland, where were you, mate? Hooked from Norway. Unbelievable. How could you be hooked from Norway?
Well, he was injured, mate.
Oh, yeah, so was Rice.
Yeah, he was...
Made it through?
No, he did got taken off after.
No, but you need to go for a poo.
No, I think he was all... Canary Wharf, my loser, honestly. Canary Wharf Station, got off there, thought it was a quicker way to get to the Jubilee line. I had to walk all through the shopping centre. Absolute nightmare. Yeah, sort that out. Not great. That's my loser, Canary Wharf.
Canary Wharf, unbelievable. My loser, very quickly, I've already done.
Yeah, you just did it.
So my loser's me.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
brilliant.
Okay, right, should we wrap the show before we have to go to second break? Sorry, I was just looking at a few things, what's coming up, which is very big. Arsenal chat. Ugh. I'm going to exit the room immediately. That, of course, track of the week. We've got so much to come, of course, on Game Changers. Don't go anywhere. As I've already told you, this is the show to be on a Sunday night. This is Game Changers on Colourful Radio, powered by TalkSport, with me, Anil Candola and Luke Henry. Don't go anywhere. A big old second half to come.
She's giving me joy, joy, joy. That girl, she brings me joy. She's giving me joy, joy, joy. That girl, she brings me joy. Goodbye, loneliness.
This is Game Changers with Anil Candola and Luke Henry.
Togetherness, foreverness means nothing less than happiness. Togetherness, foreverness means nothing less than happiness. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes. Good soulful music, this. Ooh. Welcome back to Hour 2 of Game Changers, live on Colourful Radio, powered by TalkSport, you lovely lot. I thought Boogie Town finished yesterday, wow.
Boogie Town never finishes.
Never finishes. Oh, look, I've just seen it's episode 41, which is ironic, because we're going to be talking about Arsenal in a little while, because the Premier League champions are busy in the transfer market. Could Declan Rice have a new midfield partner this season? Could his name be Bruno Guimaraes? Or could his name be Morgan Rogers? We'll give you some updates on that.
What's this?
It's nice, this. We're also going to be changing the game. We're going to be giving you our philosophical tips and advice in the industry, or any industry of your choice.
Do you know what song it's called?
Oh, I know what song it is. Come on.
Okay, say 3, 2, 1.
Soul to
Soul, Happiness.
Yeah, they was there
Didn't know
yesterday. Soul to Soul were there yesterday.
Playing this?
Don't stop
Thinking about
moving.
tomorrow.
No, don't kill it. Don't kill it.
What?
At 8:30, we'll also be doing a bit of trivia. Bradley Adam will be popping mine. And of course, if you don't know by now, where have you been? We do the best feature in the world called Track of the Week. If it's as good as this, then you're in for a treat. So that's Soul to Soul. Keep your body moving. And join us for the next hour on Game Changers, powered by Colourful Radio, because this is Game Changers. Can't beat good music. Soul beat there.
Yeah, soulful music, soulful
Don't
food.
So
What if I said to you? What if I said to you soul food? What would you think?
Soul food?
Yeah, soul. Oh, that's soul food.
I have no idea, mate. What are you on about?
Oh, do you know when people have like really good food, they go, "Oh, that's soul food." You not heard that?
No, you're right.
You not heard that?
No, I don't know what you're on about. I don't know what you're saying, mate.
Soul, as in your SOU.
Soul food.
Food for the soul.
Food for the soul. Soul food.
As in, it's good for the soul.
Yeah, like...
No, you don't say food. You have to say it's good for the soul.
No, soul food.
I've never heard that.
Okay, yeah,
in
anyway,
my life.
what's to come, mate?
Well, look, you do the running order, mate. You do the running order, and you didn't contact me. You just told me we're doing Arsenal chat, so you must want to talk about something, mate.
Yeah, I do. And it does tie in generally with some transfer chat, so I'm going to tell myself that it's transfer conversation, but in brackets it's a little bit of Arsenal.
But you are the transfer kind of guru.
Oh, yeah, fake it till you make it and all that. Well, you know, you're very lucky as you go along in life and you meet very, very connected people, and they often give you a couple of nuggets of knowledge. And this one,
Big
also,
nugget.
Big old knowledge.
Big old nugget.
Big old nugget of knowledge.
Nugget
Big
of
old
knowledge.
Nugget. Big old chicken nugget of knowledge. Anyway,
That's food for the soul.
chicken nuggets.
Not really.
It's not. Soul food's like jerk chicken and rice and peas.
I had a
and,
lovely
what I
jerk
mean?
chicken
See,
yesterday.
see that noise you made? See that noise you made? That's soul food. Do you understand now? When you say, that feels good.
I do that
Soul-
every time I see food.
McDonald's.
If I'm in
There you go. See, there was.
Chicken soup.
if I'm in a need,
See, soul food.
Nando's.
See, soul food. That for you, that's your soul food.
Not really.
See,
I
you
just
know-
said Nando's and it went.
Oh,
Asinines.
shout out Assenheims, man. We get it every week. Sort us out. We keep you in business.
They do.
Right, should we talk about some transfers?
Do you not get a discount?
Right,
get-
let's talk about transfers.
I get £1 off every order. Actually,
Probably smaller portions, isn't it?
whatever it is, I still get
Kid
quid off.
sizes.
Yeah.
Kid sizes. So let's talk Arsenal.
Yeah.
I'll put this to you because
Sorry.
we need your verdict.
Let's talk.
Arsenal.
Yeah. Come on, mate. Do it properly.
It's time to talk about the Premier League champions, Arsenal.
There we go.
Premier League champions, Arsenal, are weighing up a move for Bruno Guimaraes, leaving Newcastle, once again facing the prospect of another battle to keep one of Eddie Howe's key players amongst this PSR concern. Clubs have made it interested in terms of... I don't even know what I'm saying. What are you doing? What's that?
I'm just showing Bruno.
You're not? Guimaraes, who's watching Game Changers live
Yeah.
on YouTube right now, yeah.
This is what you'll be doing, mate. Not
Well, it
this,
won't,
because it
'cause
won't be
that's last
big.
season, mate.
This is actually not last season. It's 2022 when the project started.
The project.
Yeah,
Oh,
all Arsenal fans remember that Friday night down in Selhurst. It's
Oh,
funny enough, he ended it by winning at Selhurst to win the Premier League title. There we are.
Can I just have a look?
Well, absolutely, you can't
What?
touch that.
What?
This is soul top.
Soul clothes.
Soul
cloth.
top. This is
Soul
top
cloth.
for the soul.
Yeah, I don't think it is.
Yeah.
Soulless, more like. So look, let's talk about
It's nice
Bruno.
though, isn't it? Pink.
Pink's nice.
Pink's
It is
nice, isn't it?
V-neck, not a fan. So let's talk about Bruno Guimaraes. Now, I've heard a lot going on in terms of Guimaraes. Of course, we've heard about Morgan Rogers. We'll get onto him a little bit later, just in a couple of minutes or so. But I heard Darren Bent, of course, friend of the show and and co-host of Drive weekdays 4 till 7, live out in Miami at the moment. So make sure you listen to the boys out there if you can. He said, "Great move, good player. Don't think he'd start for Arsenal."
Yeah, he starts with.
He starts for Arsenal.
He starts. Listen, I've got bad news. I've got bad news for you.
There you go.
I've got bad news for you. I've got bad news for everyone. Do not let Arsenal get Bruno Guimaraes. Sorry, if you're rocking up to the Emirates with Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, Aldo Calafiori and Incapie, and then a holding two of Bruno and Rice, Raya in goal. Honestly, Declan Rice is known as the horse because he doesn't stop running, right? Bruno can do the same job, not to that level, but Bruno is a metronome. He can run around, he can pass, he's technical. Them two together in midfield.
Right. Okay. Now, look. I'm not trying
And
to.
if we improve the attack where everyone says we need to
Which is
improve...
again the age-old problem of improving the attack. You need to do that.
Yeah,
That's the point.
yeah. But if we do...
Look, we'll have this conversation. And look, you might think I'm having this conversation to wind you up, but I actually don't like having this conversation because it actually indicates that Arsenal are in the strongest position out of everyone in the country. But the question I've got... Are Arsenal selling themselves a bit short? You're being linked with Bruno Guimaraes. It's my understanding that Morgan Rogers is the #1 target. Both very, very good players. There's no two ways about it. But you are the Premier League champions. Who wouldn't want to join the defending champions? And let's be honest, I understand that we're in this industry now where the wages and price tags are just astronomical and way, way overflated than what they should be. But you just look at the top earners at Arsenal, OK? Bukayo Saka, £300,000 a week. I think that goes down more to just his playing ability. It's being the poster boy, isn't it? It's the sale shirts on the back of kids' tops when they go to the Emirates. But you've got players like Kai Havertz on £280,000 a week. You've got players like Gabriel Jesus on £265,000 a week. Should Arsenal not be a little bit more ambitious with their targets? Look, Real Madrid, a lot of moving parts there, you know, a lot of forward players who potentially might look for a new era. Even someone like Vinicius Jr., Kylian Mbappe, Kvaratskhelia. I know these sound like crazy players because they're at the top of their game, but Arsenal are Premier League champions. Should they not be at least aiming a little bit higher and having players like Bruno Guimaraes and Morgan Rogers as the backup options?
Yes and no. I think you have to look at, there's a clear target to profile that's Premier League proven. I think it's no secret the intensity of the Premier League is completely crazy to any other league. And it takes you time to adapt and to settle into the Premier League. So, no, I look at Rodgers and I look at Bruno and I think they're kind of what you call win-now signings. They're the signings you sign on top of something to carry on.
Yeah, fair.
Also, I think we're all privy to not everything that goes on behind the scenes, and I'm pretty sure that Arsenal will be working on some big deals or trying to explore signings like Bradley Barcola, PSG, Julian Alvarez has been mentioned for 100 million. So I think Arsenal look at these deals and go, are they A, do they fit what we're trying to do? Do they blow us out of the water financially? Is there a problem to do it if we go like a Vinicius Jr., which I don't think would happen, even though there's a contract situation at Madrid? Everything that we've built, does it ruin that? Does it shift the market? Does it shift it too much? I think all these questions that loads of clubs ask, not just Arsenal.
I was wondering, where would you sign? What position do you think Arsenal, if you could only sign one player in one
Should we
position?
say it at the same time?
I mean, left winger.
Left winger, yeah. They have to. They have to.
And anyone particular? Because there was quite a lot of wingers at this World Cup that were pretty impressive. And as Anil said, you know, you're in the prime position to.
This is what I
have
mean,
your choice,
and like you said, Dan, it's an interesting little phrase that you use there. These are now signings, and like I said, and I really don't want it to seem like I'm not a fan of Morgan Rogers. I think he's great. His attitude's top. It's a really, really good and welcomed attitude coming into any setup. But I just look at it and I think to myself, you know, even I know it didn't work for Liverpool because they went crazy, right? But they signed the best striker they could, you know. They signed what they thought was the best midfielder they could. And we also know that Arsenal are not in that position to make 5 or 6 signings, right? They need probably 2 for their starting 11, probably, at push. I think they'd be all right even if they signed a left winger. I think if they had a top left winger who can carry the goals as well as what Saka does, free his load, I think they're in business. But I just think when you're at this position, you have to shop in the big... This is the example I'd give, right? This is the example. You've been poor all of your life and you finally win £1 million. So you go shopping, OK? And then the first shop that you go into, the shopping centre, is Calvin Klein, OK? And now you go, wow, Calvin Klein, what a great shop, really good underwear, and we're going to just spend all of our money in Calvin Klein. But what you didn't realise was if you take a few steps forward, Selfridges is there. You've got all the designer gear in there. So why don't you just shift your attention to the big stuff and really realise what you're doing, which is dining at the top table?
I feel that Chelsea really missed an opportunity when we won the World Club Championship and qualified for the
Strike
Champions
while the
League.
iron's hot.
Come on, now make those
Yes.
signings, and we didn't. And
Yes.
we really floundered because of it.
So let's push your optimism, but roof it with your realism, OK? Who is the best player that you want your club to sign that's realistic in your eyes? Who is Luke Henry's top signing this summer for Arsenal?
If you told me at the end of the window Arsenal would have signed Rodgers, Bruno and Barcola, I would be...
But then that would suggest one of Odegaard.
I disagree.
So you think you'd keep still Odegaard, Eze and Morgan Rogers?
Yeah.
I just don't see how all 3 of them can get a suffice game time.
He's got to fight. That's what it's all about, striking while the iron's hot. I actually think a lot of this transfer stuff isn't all actually about buying players. I think it's all about repositioning and looking at different ways to get the best out of players. I look at Odegaard, you can play him deeper. I look at Eze, you can play him more off the left. I look at Rodgers, you can bring him in and play him more as a number 10. You know, look at Bukayo Saka, he's been really good since he's come back from injury. Not he's still at his best. But there's even an option to bring him as a number 10 and then play Noni Madueke on the right and play him at the same time. You've got the choice between Gyökeres and Havertz. You've also got the choice of Mikel Merino. You need squad depth. You need versatility. You know, squad depth. We've had this thing about injuries that's been, you know, exacerbated in the whole of football for the last 3 seasons. It's crazy. I don't want to lose anyone. Purely because they've won the league, and I actually think great.
Morgan Rogers comes in. You've got and forget when they've signed.
Well, Trossard's gone.
No, forget him. Rodgers, Eze, Odegaard, start, bench, Sal.
Well,
in the 10 role.
Well, it depends.
On Luke's opinion. Come on.
No, it depends on who you start with, because if you start with Rice and Bruno, then I would probably...
So, yeah, it'll be Rice... Yeah.
No, because if you play Rice, Bruno and Rodgers, that's a midfield 3 that I would play away at the Etihad, because I don't know how you get the ball from that. It's very press resistant. That can do a lot of things in midfield. But then if I'm at home and I'm playing a low block, then I'm going to probably start... Well, I don't think do I need to start Bruno and Rice together? Probably not. I'd probably start Odegaard based on what he's done, playing deeper. I'd probably start him with Rice and Bruno on the bench, and then in Champions League games I'd probably start Zubimendi, and obviously not forgetting Miles Lewis-Skelly and all of that as well, because I think he's a great midfielder. So in terms of the number 10 position, you know, Rodgers can play out the left one game, Odegaard can play in the 10, Eze can play at the left. Don't forget Eze can actually play as a false 9 at times as well. You'll always find a way. I'm reluctant. Look, Arsenal might not even sign Morgan Rogers.
I think they will.
They might not. They might sign him. They might sign Bruno. There might be transfers that we don't even know about that are going on. I'm pretty sure Arsenal would look at the likes of Barcola and Vinicius, and look, my dream signing would be Kvaratskhelia, but I don't think Arsenal are linked with him. I think it'd be too much money. I don't think Arsenal need to do too much. I think they just need to do 2 or 3 big signings, clear some of the squad, the likes of Christian Norgard and Gabriel Jesus, Fabio Vieira. Those players probably will leave. Reece Nelson, get those off the books. You might have one sell. I don't think anyone big would really go. There might be a conversation of Martinelli if something comes up and there's a £60 million offer on the table, but I'm not particularly sure he will leave either. So yeah, let's see what happens. As Arsenal have been rumoured around to looking at this Bruges because the Premier League with that goal away at West Ham. Yeah, no doubt in my mind. I don't care if legend gets thrown around too much or whatever. In my eyes, that's a legend.
Well, I'll tell you what. Someone else who's an absolute legend of the game is Kylian Mbappe, and I wanted to turn your attention.
Oh God,
to this.
that's a gear change.
Yeah, this is a gear change.
Mbappe or Trossard?
It's close.
Trossard.
It's close.
I'd probably start Trossard.
It's close. Yeah. Will Mbappe play that way when he's got grey hair?
Probably not.
There you go. Rest my case. Trossard. Well, so you would, just quickly, yes or no, you would put him in the same pantheon of the greats as Henry and Bergkamp, not ability-wise, but in terms of the contribution they've given to Arsenal?
Yeah, Trossard, I think he's a legend.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, people might say...
You know more than me, so that's why I'm not going to push back on him.
Well, people might say he's a cult hero, and that's how you define a cult hero. But for me personally, 22 years without winning a league, what he done for us, he didn't just have that... I mean, it'd be different if he just came off the bench and scored that goal.
That's cult hero.
It'd be like a legendary moment.
Yeah.
But actually what he's done, the money we've signed him, how important he's been, some of the moments he's played across the years, obviously when you don't win many trophies, probably does get tainted a little bit, but he's been exceptional. I think of goals against like Chelsea and Man United and Bayern Munich, and that springs to mind straight away. So yeah, and obviously scoring against Spurs this season. He's always chipped in with a big important goal over the years, and that one was the icing on the cake. Thank you so much, you legend. I might be wrong, but yeah, for me, he's a legend.
No, I think anyone's well-versed to call someone an Arsenal legend. It's you, Luke Henry. I just wanted to bring your attention quick to the story, because I'm not sure if you've seen it or not. This is the craziest transfer that never happened, OK? So Jurgen Klopp has revealed recently in an interview that he came incredibly close to signing Kylian Mbappe before his move to PSG in 2017. Now listen to this. So Klopp revealed that the club, at the time of course Liverpool, arranged a private jet to secretly meet Mbappe and his family, as well as his entourage, to be able to speak away from the media spotlight, OK? Now the talks took place on board of this plane as it flew around in a circle, giving everyone a chance to discuss the potential blockbuster deal and the move to Anfield in complete privacy. Now, Klopp joked that this was the most expensive non-transfer because of the lengths the club went to in order just to even persuade the French superstar, of course, to no avail. In the end, Mbappe chose PSG instead. But Klopp says it remains one of the most memorable transfer stories of his time at Liverpool. Where do you go with this, OK? Is this normal? Do clubs just go, yeah, we'll get a little PJ, get your friends, get your family, get a few of your agents, maybe a couple of girls as well, chuck them on the back of the plane, everyone can have a good party, and me and you can talk one-to-one on how amazing Liverpool or whatever club it could be. That is bonkers.
Am I wrong in saying that Chelsea had exactly the same with Messi in 2014?
Is this a thing?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Chelsea were very, very close to signing Messi.
Yeah, we were. I don't know how close we were, but I know
extremely close. Dinner and everything. Yeah, I think it's quite a common
there
thing.
was definitely talks going on. As well, we all know there were with Gerrard as well. But yeah, with Messi there were links. Nothing really came out confirmed of how they went, but they were definitely in talks with him. Yeah.
Wow. Obviously, there was a lot of financial issues at the time for Messi. That's why he wanted to go to Chelsea, apparently, because of Mourinho. Unbelievable. But these are the, like, you know, and this is the thing about transfers, right? And this is what really irritates me. So many people say if I was to, I don't tweet anymore for obvious reasons. My account got hacked, brilliant. But I used to tweet things, and then I did. And then when the story changed, people were like, well, you were lying. Well, no. If Luke Henry comes in here now and says, look, I'm going to quit TalkSport and I'm going to go join the BBC, right? I'm going to report saying Luke Henry's set to quit TalkSport. But if you come in tomorrow and go, look, I was going to quit, but I've changed my mind, I'm going to stay at TalkSport, that doesn't mean my tweet's a lie. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And this is the ever-changing world of transfers. And if this story doesn't show you how crazy the world of transfers is, I don't think anything will. The fact that you got a private jet just to have a chat with him, what about just around your house, mate? You know, just close the curtains, not in a weird way, cup of tea, and then just have a little chat, mate. What's wrong with that?
Speaking of transfers, some breaking news.
Here we go.
It's not good for Newcastle fans.
Look straight down the barrel and give us what the breaking news is from the transfer world, Luke Henry.
Yeah, I mean, we just talked about Bruno potentially leaving to go to Arsenal. Newcastle did have a replacement if Bruno was to leave, or they need midfield reinforcements for Sancho Tonali as well. But it's been reported that Aston Villa are now in process of finalising a move to sign Johan Manzambi from Freiburg, who's been really impressive in the World Cup for Switzerland. The player lacks approval for Newcastle and wants to move to Aston Villa, with the deal now accelerating towards a conclusion. So it's another hijack that Newcastle have been on the receiving end of. What is going on there? That's not a good look. That's not.
So what are you supposed to do, right? And okay, we need to move on because there is a really important conversation that I want to have as part of our Changing the Game.
Yes, we will win the league.
Not important at all. Why on earth would anyone want to go to Newcastle? I'm sorry. You can say all you want about the fans and all of that kind of stuff, which they are. They are amongst the best fans, maybe even in the world, OK? St James's Park on an evening game particularly is absolutely rocking. I've been there before. Phenomenal fans, OK? They are phenomenal fans. But you take that out of it, what is attractive about Newcastle? They'll yo-yo potentially into a European spot. They can't attract any of the players. They get hijacked left, right and centre from all of the clubs that are serious about signing them. All of their players have to leave because of financial issues. They were promised the world and been barely given a flat in East London in comparison when it comes to the Saudi owners. And I understand PSR is a problem. You know, their spending has to be capped because of other things and so on and so forth. But realistically, Newcastle's in the middle of nowhere, right? Who's going to want to go there? It's not even Manchester, let's be honest. And there is just nothing attractive about going to Newcastle. It's absolutely freezing every single day as well. There is, you know, I know we joke about it and we poke fun, but genuinely, if you take the fans out of it, what is the attraction of going to Newcastle United?
I mean, it's a club with loads of history.
Like what? What's the history?
I mean,
what's the history?
If you're going to do that about trophies...
Yeah, what's history? Luke, I'm not going to sit here on this show with you and now go, well, it doesn't matter about trophies, when I've spent the first 35 episodes that we've done on this show saying it doesn't matter what Arteta does until he wins a trophy.
Yeah, but Newcastle...
And now he's won the trophy, you hold your hands up and go, do you know what, mate, welcome to the club, you're in the big dogs. What history have we got? I will love it if we beat them. They're synonymous for not being successful.
No, but Newcastle are a big. Like, they are a big club. They are a big club.
A big club. But what is it? What is it about attraction? Like, you're not going to go sign for Nottingham Forest over Spurs because of the history of Forest.
Well, no. That's. Yeah, but you might. It depends what the project is. And right now, Newcastle. I mean, like,
Project X. That is.
Well, it looks like it's come to the end of their project. But you know, it's Newcastle. Look, if you play for Newcastle, that's still a big club.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a great city. It's great fans. It's a good club. The only problem is the direction of it, where it's going right now, makes it look like it's the end of the road and the end of the cycle. But you know, 2 years ago, if you go to Newcastle, everyone was like, "That's a great move. It's a great buy." They've still got some good players on that team. But yeah.
Who? Guimaraes, who's going to go. You've got Walterman, who's been the flop of the season, let's be honest.
I think we're
right? You've got Lewis Hall, who's on the edge of going as well, from what I'm being told. He wants to leave. You know.
Well, so he's technically still got him.
You've got him, but come on.
But I don't know how likely... I mean, look...
If you lose Bruno Guimaraes, it's done. He's the captain. He's the leader, right? He's the heartbeat of that team.
But that's why he's probably agitated for him, because he's, well, where is it going? Where's everything going? But let's see. No, I think Newcastle are a good club. But that's not good news, because then if the player's lacking approval, then he must be unsure about where the club's heading. So, yeah, not great news.
Not great news at all.
It's probably not great news for Arsenal, though, as well, because that probably makes it harder for Arsenal to sign Bruno Guimaraes.
No, it's the same thing. It's exactly the same thing that happened with Newcastle in the summer when they wanted to sign...
Ekitike?
No, they wanted to sign, I can't believe, Sesko. Right, and they were saying, right, we really want to sign Sesko so we can allow Isak to go. They didn't sign Sesko, and they eventually let Isak go. So don't worry, you'll be fine. Guimaraes will go to Arsenal. I think you'll be all okay. So yeah, we've just got a conversation now to have in terms of changing the game. Okay, now this is a feature, haven't we, that we've come up with to basically really encourage some positive and hopefully motivational conversation, right? And now, for those who don't know, this is currently South Asian Heritage Month. Throughout the whole of July, it's all about trying to encourage conversation about South Asian representation, particularly in the sports media industry. I did a talk last Monday within the news building with some incredibly talented people with South Asian background and ethnicities, and it was a really insightful and eye-opening conversation. Now look, Luke, of course you're a person of colour. We do this show, it's powered by Talksport, but it does live on Colourful Radio, so I think it is a really important and appropriate time and a perfect platform to have a conversation about the representation of ethnic minorities within sports industry and the landscape. Now, I just want to throw a few stats at you before we get into the conversation. So I just did a bit of research, and I came across BComs, who you've done work with before, Reuters Institute, which do a lot of incredible work, particularly from a statistic perspective. And these are just a couple of the statistics that we've that I found. So it found that 90% of UK journalists are white, compared with around 82% of the UK population, showing that ethnic minorities remain underrepresented across journalism as a whole. We've got 5.4% of broadcast sports media roles have been held by Asian presenters, reporters or commentators, and a slightly higher percentage of 15% of broadcast sports roles were held by black presenters, reporters or commentators. There was an unbelievable stat, here it is, which is just out of this world. It's a report from BComs again that said only 2 black sports writers covered the Men's European Championship for UK newspapers.
Well,
and I could imagine that one of them is Darren Lewis,
probably.
Of course, very unbelievable. Whether or not you agree with his opinions about football, about sport or anything, you cannot deny the boundaries that man has broken in this industry is just phenomenal. Really helpful, isn't he? Great guy, does so much great work as well. But going back to this conversation, Luke, now look, I think the interesting dynamic for this is we are examples that it's possible for people from different backgrounds to the traditional ones in England, if you like, to be able to make it in this industry. But I just wanted to get your story in regards to how you came. Have you found any difficulties because of the colour of your skin, or potentially has it allowed you more opportunity, like BComs, like speak to the next generation of young black aspiring journalists and presenters?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both, really. I think it depends on the person that you are and how you use it, say like that, to your advantage or your disadvantage. I think, you know, the people, for me, you know, I've always looked at it as, and we, you know, on the show we tell the truth as it is. You know, some people, some companies will employ people of colour, and people will assume that it's a tick box situation. So they don't have to have these conversations that people don't want to have. But I've always maintained that I would be absolutely delighted if someone gave me a presenting job based on my colour and the way I looked. Because then when I get in the chair, then I'd actually show them that how good I am as a talent. Because that's how you have to adapt and you have to use it as a positive.
It's fascinating, that is.
Yeah, it's not a nice thing. But then I always think, because if you go in with that mentality of, oh, why is everyone against me, or this, that and the other, that's not fair, but all that, you don't help anyone and you don't help yourself. But I think when you get the opportunity, you go, yeah, do you know what, I might be a tick box. But then when at the end, when they go, actually, do you know what, Luke's really good, or Neil's really good. And I actually did a sat on the News UK Black History Month, in October, which is got flown by now. And
oh, that's scary. Feels like it was about a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah. And I was on the panel, I think, with Gabby Aboloho actually on that night as well. And
Maya Graham was there?
Maya was on there,
friend of the show as well.
Maya hosted it, and I say it's quite funny, actually. So me and Maya took it in turns to host two different talks. I hosted one at a conference centre about the journey into the game, about me, Maya's journey, Adeola Depot, and Darren Lewis, which was really bad career moment, actually interviewing my two mentors. Crazy. And I actually think Addy is one of the first black presenters to host Premier League football.
The first and still the only.
Which I think is obviously the most alarming thing. It's the great thing that he's the first one, but it's really alarming when you factor that the Premier League's been going since 1992 and he's the first black face of football to do it, which I think is pretty incredible, but also quite
To do
damning.
what? That's incredible.
Yeah, so
Can you repeat that?
Adeola Depot is, at the time, the first, but still now the only black male presenter of Premier League football. It might even be black full stop,
Yeah.
never mind male or female. But so, yeah, he's the first and
He did
only one.
Amazon
Yeah,
Sport,
Amazon
didn't-
Sport, he
Amazon
did a
World.
Premier League game, yeah. Still is. I spoke to him a couple of weeks ago about that, and I think he still is.
Is
That's
he?
mind-blowing.
Yeah.
It really is.
And this is, okay, right, it is, and these types of conversations are really important, right, because I feel like, especially, you know, even just this flag behind us, I just have no idea how our nation's flag can become so decisive and you know, tear people apart and really, you know, change so many things. You know, like, I'll give you an example, and I'm sure my mum won't mind me saying this. So my mum works at a Royal Mail. It's a warehouse, and she's very lucky that she's got her nice little office where she does her work, and sometimes she has to go on the floor or whatever. But in her office, she thought, okay, well, it's the World Cup, and I want to put some England flags up, right? Like, you know, it's the World Cup, let's all get behind England. So she put some England flags up, and then a Portuguese woman came in and went, you putting them England flags up? She went, yeah. And then she went, fine, I'm going to bring a picture of Ronaldo in. And they were laughing and joking, and I thought, yeah, that's what it's all about. Long story short, my mother got a message off the seniors to say, take the flags down, because it's making some people feel uncomfortable. And this is what I was saying, and look, my mum is, you know, she comes from parents who moved over to this country. She spent a large part of her childhood both in England and in India, right? So, you know, she's not exactly the most patriotic woman in the world, but she really gets behind these types of things. You know, it's England at the World Cup. We live in England. You know, we want to use all of the benefits of this country bring in terms of free healthcare and you know, free speech compared to other countries. It's way better than other places, right? So why now are we becoming so, you know, almost embarrassed to be proud of being English? And I said this on the South Asian the South Asian Heritage Talk, right? That the battle and the struggle that I found is I'm very proud of my roots and my heritage. I'm not ashamed of it. I'm really happy and really, you know, proud, and love speaking to my parents about these kind of things. But now it's almost like, am I allowed to feel proud to be English? Because, you know, people, you know, with similar skin colours to me, or people who are basically not white, are saying that they find the English flag offensive, and it is quite almost like a middle ground that you're in. That you don't belong to that category, but then you don't belong to that category, but you just want to be appreciative of both, if that makes sense. So for you, Luke, it was a really fascinating thing that really hit a light bulb for me. Is that if someone employed you just because of your skin colour, you're like, well, fine, you've given me an inch, I'm going to give you a mile now, which is an incredible thing to really look at an outlook of life with. And it's perfect. I couldn't put it better than what you did in terms of it's how you use it. Either you use it as the detriment and the thing that's going to... And it sounds ridiculous, but almost allow yourself to be in the victim mindset forever.
Yeah.
Or it's the thing that goes, well, this is my superpower.
Yeah, it's an advantage. It's not a disadvantage.
No.
And the blunt, honest truth is, if you're going for a gig or a presenting job, because we both want to be presenters, and someone is far more equipped than I am and probably better suited for it, however, they are, let's just put it bluntly, they're aware that they have to probably tick a box for diversity reasons and they have to pick me. Fantastic, no problem, because I'll show them that they'll make the right decision. Yeah.
But does it not get to you a little bit that the fact that the way that they've got to that decision isn't right? Like and this is why it's so important to have these conversations, because you need to encourage conversations and contrasting opinions and help one another. I just don't think that sits right with me. I think even with job applications, okay, why do they need to know my ethnicity? Why do they even need to know my gender if it's not relevant to the role? I don't know what role is male or female specifically, unless it's like a cleaner in a female toilet or a cleaner in a men's toilet, but you can still do both anyway, can't you, right? So I don't really know, unless it's a real necessity in terms of the gender and your sexuality and stuff like that. Surely it should just be your name, obviously, because they need to know whose applicant they're going to pick, but it should just be purely on what you've provided, no?
Yeah, I mean, I was just thinking about, really funny, like when I used to do my football signing on sheets when I was younger.
To sign for a new team, or even like renew. Yeah. Gosh, memory lane.
Yeah, well, look, I'm born in England. I've got probably a bit of Jamaican in me, but that's because of my dad. But I've never been to Jamaica with family or anything. So basically, I'm a mixed British. But it was very funny because I always remember used to look at the sheet and I was like, I don't actually know what I am because it's not on here.
Yeah.
So I had to be like white and black of African descent or something like that. But I was like, well, technically I'm not. And it was white and black Caribbean.
Yeah.
I was like, well. Do you know what I mean? It's another question.
Just
what do I start? Like, what am I? You know what I mean? When you're having that conversation at 10 years old, I'm like, what am I? It's just like, it's a weird one. But these conversations are, they're always important, but because when people don't talk about them, they think there's the job. The problem
there is no conversation to be had. In terms of if you don't have them,
they think everything must be hunky dory. But then people have to roll their eyes and don't want these conversations. But realistically, I just think people should be solely based on the quality of what they are for the job. If you're the right person for the job, you should get it regardless of what you look like, shape, size, race, whatever it is. I firmly believe that. I'm not as big when it comes to politics as you are. I'll probably say that, because I always feel like it's so divisive now, and I feel like you can't say anything. And I think if you say the wrong thing and you don't even mean it, you might say something that you actually stand by because someone else will take offence to it, then you might be hindered. And I think that's ridiculous, because unless you're trying to actually offend someone and do it with actual hate and actual, real anger attached to it, that's when you should face a repercussion. But if you're saying it going on a talk and facing a point, like I did when I did the Black History Month, I remember saying something, and I wasn't nervous because me and Maya, like I said, we did 2 talks. Mine was really funny and heartwarming. Poor Maya was hosting a really serious discussion of topic, and I said
she's very good at them types.
She was really good, but I always said with these situations, I'm so sorry, but you have to affect a majority to hurt the minority, and I said that's the only way these things are going to work. So, and then I remember this guy asked me a question and pushed back on what I meant, and I just said, if we're talking about it from a football circuit, I said, look, if we're talking about it within the realms of football, or we're talking about, if racism happens on a football pitch or if racism happens in the stands, I said, look, people don't want to hear about it, and it's got nothing to do with them, and we'll turn a shoulder and turn a blind eye. But, affect them, affect their teams, affect points. Let's have points deductions and see what happens. That's when you affect everyone for one person's actions, then you'll grow up, then you'll understand what it means to me. Because, people say, when they talk about, these conversations and racism and everything that's attached to it and diversity and whatnot, people don't realise that when you actually have been racially abused before, it's very soul-destroying. Because people think you're beneath them because of the colour of your skin, which I think is pretty low. And to be on receiving end of that a few times, and also, let's be honest, we live in a country where I say racism is implicit, not explicit. I think it's spoken between the lines a little more, and it's always subconscious. So you have to sort of pick out and go, that's interesting, actually. Little things. And sometimes they're sometimes they can be just kind of normal things, but you don't realise it until you get older and go, actually, that's quite weird, actually. It's connotations. Like, some things are connotations, some things are not, It could be like, when I used to play football, people used to say, what position are you striker? It's like, what makes you think that? Oh, because you're small and you must be quick. Oh, right, OK. Oh, right. And then it's just that, what makes you think I'm quick? It's just little things like that, and then you get just tailored into a specific gap, right? So, but you don't realise that until you go older, And I'll be brutally honest on this show, right? I probably shouldn't say this, but probably will. At lunchtime at school, we only had 50-minute lunch. I'm probably going to get told off for saying this, but... Oh, no, I'm not. We used to... because we only had 50 minutes to do lunch, the quickest way to do teams was blacks versus whites. But you don't realise that when you get to... You don't realise that when you get to 17, 18.
But then, did you grow up in the 70s? That's really
Let's speak about this, right? No, let's speak about this.
But in a way, when I say
let's talk about this now, okay? Because...
But no one batted an eyelid.
No, but then, should they?
That's my point, I don't know.
But what I'm trying to say is... Right, no, but why would they? If the premise of that idea to play black versus whites was because the black people, all the white people said, right, let's get them, let's do them in, then, hello, we've got a problem. But if it is just simply, right, black people on this side, white people on this side, let's just play a game of football.
It was just quicker to do teams that way.
The quickest way to split people, and this is...
It wasn't all the time, by the way.
No, but I love that, because this is what I think the problem is, okay? You're going to have... These are really important conversations to have, and we rarely have them on this, and maybe we should encourage it more, right? Because we have got pretty much everything in terms of the human race just on this small team of 3, OK? My problem with things like that's like an example that's quite new to me, because I'm still processing in my head, OK? But my issue is, why is it that some people have to always find something in something? OK? There are people who are being prevented from getting jobs because of their skin colour, and like you've said, without even realising, have been targeted for whatever reason. Now, in my head, if for example, and I hope I don't offend anyone because clearly this is not our intention, but if we sit here now and we have a conversation like, what are you going to have for dinner? And I say to you, what, you're going to have rice and peas and a bit of jerk chicken? You turn around to me and go, what are you going to have? A chicken tikka masala, right? People now would say and deem that as, well, you're being racist to one another. But this is my brother right now. Do you know what I'm trying to say? It's not just on camera. Like, I consider you as one of my closest people in my life. So, and do you hear what I'm trying to say? Like, that's not racism. And we shouldn't be focusing on the minute... And I'm not saying, by the way, that what you've said is, because I don't know the factors behind it. And maybe that's what you were trying to say, right? Like, if we to do it now, will we look at it in a different light? And I get that. But at the same time, there's so many things that we need to worry about in terms of coming together. I think we just get so stuck on things that are just so trivial.
Yeah.
And I just think that there's so many bigger problems out there.
I agree.
To really try and get us to a level playing field. And this is the thing that I don't like either. Like, and I'm talking from someone who is a person of colour, okay? I don't like this idea that people are saying that they want equality and they can't eradicate them things. How do you close that gap, Adam?
Well, I was just going to say, I've always found it, growing up as a teenager in the 90s, which was socially... It was very accepting of skin colour, races, cultures, it was a lot more accepting than it is now. And it really saddens me to see that there has been a deterioration in that. And for someone who's got a wife and 5 daughters, so I've been surrounded by females, I've always said the pigment in my skin compared to another man, it's nothing.
It does. And look, it's the most serious conversation, but it's ridiculous, isn't it? It is honestly
completely
ridiculous.
different. You know, they're something totally different. And I think a lot of my generation were colourblind in a sense that we didn't care what colour you were, but we weren't blind to your culture or your roots or anything.
Yeah.
We were interested in that, and it's got to the stage now where it's as if you can't be proud of
anything,
of not being an ethnic minority.
Yeah,
it's like it's a real shame.
And this is the thing: we should be championing every walk of life.
Absolutely.
Whereas now it feels like who can almost bury the different cultures. Like I said this on the talk, that I'm so proud to be English. I'm so proud to be from England. You know, this is where I've grown up, and to be honest, I think this is where I'll spend the rest of my life. I don't mind the odd holiday, but look, this is where I'm from, and this is where I feel is home, right? But then why can I not feel that without people saying, you know, almost like you're playing to the gallery? You're trying to impress white people or this kind of stuff. Like,
so
you should be
many
proud
people-
of everything, of every culture, you know?
That's it. I mean, there's so many people, the majority, and it's a real shame that it doesn't get heard so much. The majority of white English people will see you two guys as English because you are.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, you have. I'm English as well. My dad's Irish. Oh, I have one great-grandparent from England. The rest are from Spain, Portugal, Latvia, Lithuania and Ireland. I'm not very English, but I am.
Yeah.
And I've got white skin, but my ancestry isn't from here. But it doesn't matter. This is what I call home. I'm proud of what this country's done for me, for my family, the people I love. I'm also disappointed in this country, but I'm allowed to be. Because I've lived through it, and so have you guys. And for anyone to treat someone differently purely because of where they were born, the pigment levels of their skin, is utter insanity.
But when you actually just take a step back, right, and just almost take even any thought process or knowledge out of it, right, like, it actually makes me laugh, honestly, without sounding stupid, how ridiculous it is. How can you look at someone differently or treat them or think you're better or worse or inferior or above them because of their skin colour? So, but by this logic, right, this is what I mean. By this logic, if you really don't like black people, so you'll be all right with me unless I go on holiday for a week and I'll tan and then, you spent too long on that sunbed of yours, we don't like you anymore. When you actually think of the like, what it is, like, we understand history to a certain extent because we didn't live through it, but we understand why there's so much hardship and difficulty from a perspective. But when you actually look at it from this perspective, there is no substance, is there?
Because it makes no sense, because there is no sense to it. Because if we all had exactly the same colour skin, whether it's black, white or it's somewhere in between, we'd then be arguing over eye colour or hair colour or size of our ears or what, you know what I mean? It is that ridiculous.
What's the phrase of divide and conquer?
Yeah.
That's ultimately what it is, isn't
absolutely.
it? A harmonious society and
Cannot be controlled.
It can't be controlled then, can it? I think it's a fascinating conversation. Hopefully, you know, and look, I think these conversations, as we know, are very important because they give different perspectives. You know, we agree, disagree on things, and all three of us, and I think this is a perfect platform because we are from different walks of life, ages, backgrounds, you know, religion potentially as well. You know, I think we should really make the most out of this trio because we can hopefully get some good answers, and not just even for the people who are listening and watching, also for ourselves. I'm really sorry, Adam, you're going to have to tell Bradley that we've got no time whatsoever for the quiz.
Can I keep him out of the studio? No quiz today.
Sorry, mate. Yeah, you're going to have to tell him.
Get out, you loser. Go on.
There he
He's
goes.
gone. I love it.
Unbelievable.
Oh, thanks,
right,
guys.
so just to wrap up this conversation, look, my DMs are open, Luke's DMs are open. Of course, reach out to Colourful if you feel like these conversations are helpful or you want to get involved. Please do, okay? We want to have an environment and a space open for conversation, no judging. You know, even if you think you don't feel comfortable saying it in certain different environments, you're always welcome to say it here on Game Changers because, as I said at the top of the show, it's a sports and entertainment show, but it's a show that's changing the game.
Yep, and just finally, just treat people the way you want to be treated.
It's just, what was my saying earlier, last week? It's nice to be important.
It's important to be nice.
It's just so simple. Just treat everyone how you want to be treated. That is it.
Yeah.
Not even nicely, because if you treat yourself amazingly, treat everyone else amazingly as well. It's just not hard. Life's not easy, but it's not bloody hard, is it? With these
Interestingly,
things.
I was looking up a few quotes for this section, and the one I sort of stopped on strangely fits incredibly well. It's from George Bernard Shaw. Life isn't about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself, which means you can be what you want to be. You want to be filled with hatred?
Yeah.
You can do that.
Do it.
Yeah,
Fill your
yeah.
boots. A lot easier. A lot easier to be like that.
If you want to be the person, the potential you could be, you could also be that.
Great. Really enjoyed that. Really enjoyed that. I think these are the moments that we need to, you know, really talk about and highlight. And look, obviously, this is hopefully the transition of making this a politics show. Me and you, Luke, Bosh.
It's going to be weird.
It'll be a sports section and a music section.
Thanks.
Half an hour, you can take that.
But that's why...
Yeah, but look,
I don't want to go off guard, but that's why I don't really entertain with the world of politics. Like, I did it at... Was it AS? You did AS?
First year A-level.
Yeah, and then I dropped it within 3 months.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't what I thought I was signing up for.
Yeah.
I thought we'd be looking and debating about what is going on in the world.
Yeah.
It wasn't that. But then you just I've said this a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, we work in the news, we work and stuff, but it's just all so negative. And the point is, you know, why I love sport so much is we have that
It's
debate.
escapism, isn't it?
But you could debate Bellingham, you could debate Kane, right? I'll wake up tomorrow conscious, we'll be fine. I might have said something you don't agree with, but you might debate something political, and then you wake up in the
Tarnish.
morning and someone
Done.
goes, I don't like that. And then all of a sudden you've got this whole backdrop
true.
of
So
negativity,
true.
and then people are trying to annihilate your character for something you believed and you said, because you've got to be very careful when you talk about politics. That's not politics.
No.
Politics is meant to
Open
express
space.
your
Yep.
view
Yep.
and get it right, and then you go, oh, OK, I didn't realise that. This is where I stand on it, not this is my view, and then someone tell you, go, no, you're wrong.
Wild.
Because that's
Absolutely
not...
wild.
So that's why I don't entertain on
Yeah,
it.
I don't blame you, but we're going to
Do you know
change
what I mean?
that. We're going to change that approach, and we're going to have a conversation in the space, maybe even weekly. Might not be every week, but it will be most weeks. But we're going to talk about some situations and give our opinion and show that this is a safe space. Right, serious chat done, football chat done, England chat done. Winners and losers done.
What's all this talk about politics, man? It's getting boring, you know what I'm saying?
no,
Let's hear some
no.
proper beats. Yeah, track of the week, man.
Yeah, welcome. Welcome to the show, DJ Bradders. Didn't even know you snuck into the room there. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, all good. How
Yeah, yeah.
you boys doing? You all right?
Yeah, well, we can't even tell the colour of your skin. You've always got this balaclava on and the
Yeah, I need to keep my head down, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay,
I'm a
okay,
bad
yeah.
man.
I don't think
I'm a
you should.
bad man.
I don't think you should be coming on radio if you're in quotes,
Booyaka shot.
a bad man. So anyway, DJ Brad, is this the song you've been working on, right?
No, this is it. No, this is a song called Happiness, because I heard you were talking about happiness.
Sounds happy.
Oh yeah, hear me now. It's Happiness Week, isn't it? On
Wanna
track
hear
of the
tune?
week.
Oh, you want to hear the tune? I got to admit, I've not been working on it, but...
What? You said to
it's
me
not-
earlier in the week you've been working on it.
It's not my tune, but I know that I've been the inspiration for this tune. It's by a guy called Tizcore. You may have heard it.
And this is about you.
Well, I think I think I am.
He thinks he's-
OK.
I was the inspiration.
Yeah.
It's a World Cup song.
Yeah.
After review, number 10, Paraguay, cover his mouth. Decision is red card.
What's it? Sorry, it's you.
Red card.
So you made that?
I actually have heard this. I haven't.
Yeah, it's a bad boy, babe. You know what I'm saying?
I am getting a bit worried about Track of the Week.
What's
I actually think Track of the Week might be a little bit redundant.
We've gone too far.
I think Bradley just should just...
He's just saying the show.
Braz
Why
just
are we doing this? We're wasting our time. Right, anyway, cut that interesting song. They've made a song out of a VAR review.
Oh, gathered.
Yeah.
But it sounded weird. I thought
After
that...
review, decision, red card.
After review, number 19 commits a foul on the keeper. My final decision is free kick, no goal. Arsenal win the Premier League.
Right, okay, so what's the track of the week feature this week, DJ Bradders? You're ridiculous, you know that.
That's what he said, Chris
Yeah,
Scott.
well, in light of us getting to the semi, we all have a semi, don't we?
We'll know where
It
this is
just
going, don't we?
brings me joy, brings me happiness.
Listen, I'm not saying anything about
Anything
packages
happy.
or semis or whatever.
Semis, right, okay. So we're just to start, we're talking about the semi-final of England, Argentina. Yeah,
Yeah,
semi.
man.
Right, okay, yeah, so go ahead.
I've got a big night on Wednesday, by the way.
What, a big semi?
Huge semi. Loads of packages.
It'll only get harder.
It will only get harder.
Actually, Stuart Pearce said that.
Yeah.
No, he did. He said, good news, we're through. Bad news, it's getting harder.
Oh, okay, right, yeah. What else? We've worked really hard to get to this semi.
He didn't say that.
Your turn.
But he did say he breathed a huge sigh of relief afterwards.
Breathed a huge sigh of relief. Okay, yeah, great. What else can we say?
Yeah, saying England in the semis, it's no premature evaluation at all, is it? You know, it's. I think it's bang on. Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
And I hope the boys stand to attention. What?
Yeah, no, I was just thinking I used to open this show by saying it's week 12 and we haven't been cancelled. I think we've given it a good shot this week, haven't we?
Yeah.
Well, it's week 41 and we haven't grown up.
We tried to get...
Great. Right, should we
Track of the week, boys.
I'm working on an opener.
Yeah, okay, great.
Yeah.
Great, yeah. Anything to do with semi?
I'm going to get David Seaman's voice.
Track of the week.
Just play it.
Who wants to go first?
Have we got
Because he's keeping...
just play the thing? Can we just have a second to compose ourselves?
All right.
You want Seaman in the semi?
Yeah.
You want him in a box?
Right, so just to clarify, you need Seaman for the semi,
For the opening package.
for the opening package of the semi.
Yeah.
Play the thing. Not this. Turn it off. Turn it off. No, you haven't played the track of the week. Stab, DJ Pratters. For Christ's sake.
Track of the week.
Just for you people out there, he's the England keeper in 98.
Yeah, David Seaman is the goalkeeper,
yeah.
former of England. Yes.
Yeah, Argentina. So, 98, and we're playing them in the semi. That's right.
Right,
It's just,
okay, right. Anyway, should we just move swiftly
Just
on?
pick your
Oh
song.
my goodness! I just knew that was going to happen, just from the message that DJ Bradley sent this morning.
Ronaldinho free kick. Oh,
Oof.
David Seaman. Oh.
Over Seaman.
Right,
Seaman
everyone.
just couldn't stretch that
What's the
far.
song, mate?
Right, so my song. So look, the feature this week, very quickly,
Giving it away a bit,
is
haven't
a
we?
bit. Yeah, you had a bit of an insight. But the feature this week is happiness. Okay, quite simple. England have got to the World Cup semi-final. And it's all about songs that make you happy. Now, I've picked this song, not just because it's a feel-good rhythm, the beat, but also the message. Go on, put it up. I'll follow you, deep sea, baby. I'll follow you, I'll follow. It's just such a, look,
Sorry,
it
that's a current song. Like a charting song.
No, not right now. It's been out for ages.
When's ages in your terms?
Years and years. Those years. So the point of this song is, look, we don't know where we're going. We don't know what direction we're going in, almost like a river, but I'll follow the river, OK? I'm on the journey, on the river, and wherever it takes us, it runs deep, it runs wild, but I'm on here and I'm waiting for the river, OK? And I love this song so much. It just makes it feel so good. Ready? 3, 2, 1. I'll follow you, deep sea, baby. I'll follow you. It's a good track. No green planet. I'll follow you. See that? See my skill?
I did say that, yeah.
What have you got?
Well, as it's
Pursuit of happiness or something like that.
Yeah, well, as it was joy, happiness, Boogie makes great music, and England are going to win the semi-final on Wednesday. The reason why I know that is because you can take it to the bank. Shalimar style.
The words, yeah, come in.
Oh, yeah.
But you should start the
Take
song
that
on
to
the
the bank.
Oh, okay, yeah, here we go. Where are you going? Take that to the bank. Do that again. Here we go.
Take that to the bank.
Yeah, I like that, yeah.
Together.
Right, so you picked it, not a good track, makes you feel good. Yeah.
Oh, I saw Shalimar yesterday, incredible. Yeah, nice and easy. I've spoke about how good they are, but just listen to the words. Yo.
Oh, lovely. Right, okay, cut the music.
No, we got into the good bit.
Put the music back up. Honestly, the things I've put all on the show is just getting borderline ridiculous. Right, cut the music. DJ Brothers.
Take that to the bank. Great song.
DJ Brothers, just play this tune very quickly. Who has won this week's track of the week?
Take that to the bank. Take that to the bank. Come on, mate. There's no way that was going to beat Shalimar.
Yeah, probably not. Right, okay, I didn't win, but I know I've got the heart of the nation. Thank you very much. And, of course, thank you to my wonderful co-host, Luke Emery, Adam Bradley, Adam, who didn't actually perform today, and DJ Brothers. But most of all, thank you to you who have stuck by us for the last 2 hours.
Just
what
a reminder.
show, a real reminder.
This week, 2 massive semis.
France, which makes one big final.
Football game.
Thank you. Anyway, should we move on? Up next on Colourful Radio is the Fresh Music Hour. Make sure you join us next week. I think it's World Cup final day.